and taking us home,
Sure.
Mr. Ferranti.
Thank you, and thank you for the pronunciation. Not everybody here may know exactly how to pronounce my last name, so it's Ferranti, just so that you know. Thanks also for the warm welcome to each of you over the last few weeks and month, and to Mr. Manager, Mr. County Attorney, and all of the staff who've made me so welcome. I'm excited, humbled, and honored to join you on the dais today. The two biggest issues we'll face over the next 6 months will be Amazon and the fiscal year 2020 budget. I'd like to share my initial thoughts on both. First, Amazon. I consider any agreement we may reach through 4 standards. First, an agreement must provide a significant net benefit to our whole community. This can't be a close call. Second, we need to know that an agreement considers and furthers our plans on housing, transportation, and our schools. Third, as we implement an agreement, we must fully consider small businesses, the lifeblood of our community. And fourth, we must have a fair and transparent process. Our community must have a chance to consider the choices we will make in an agreement. I'm confident, but not certain, that we can reach that agreement. Based on the documents that are already public, I believe we can get there. I do not, however, prejudge the outcome. I look forward to hearing from and listening to the community before making any decision, and the devil will be in the details. Beyond these standards for an initial agreement, I'm hopeful that we can reach further, engage with Amazon and the developer JBG Smith to reach an even better win-win partnership to expand opportunity and, yes, equity for all Arlingtonians. 3 key investments could make this a once-in-a-generation transformational win-win. First, significant in public and private investment in affordable homeownership and rental housing. Second, energy-efficient buildings and renewable energy. Yes, Amazon's renewable commitments in Virginia are significant, and we should be able to get to yes on this one of the REACH key goals. Third, fair pay for those who work on and in the buildings that will be built. Virginia law does not allow this body to require project labor agreements, but it also does not preclude such agreements between private parties. I agree with you, Ms. Crystal, and Mr. Dorsey, and I believe others, maybe perhaps all of my colleagues, that this is an area that we should proactively discuss with JBG Smith and Amazon. These 3 goals are each possible, but they're not inevitable. They will take leadership and vision from everyone involved: Amazon, JBG, county staff, all Arlington residents and citizens, community-based organizations, and yes, the board. I look forward to digging in. Second, the fiscal year 2020 budget. Our projected deficit of up to $70 million is the most difficult budget estimate the county has faced in almost 10 years since the Great Recession. A few thoughts. We must be fiscally responsible, but we cannot allow our day-to-day needs to prevent us from investing in our future. Among our priorities, I believe, should be the resources to put the county in a position to fund the building of another high school. There will be twists and turns. The state's budget and our own projections will change, impacting the revenues available to the county as well as the schools. I commit to working hard, staying engaged, and focusing on equity. Those are my thoughts on Amazon and the budget, and perhaps the first 6 months. I want to share the priorities I ran on briefly, because those I will be pursuing over the coming year and 4 years. First, on our office vacancy rate. I talked a little bit about this. I'll say this: HQ2 doesn't change the commitment I made last year to stay focused on our office vacancy rate. It can help address deficits 3 years from now, perhaps 2, but it will not eliminate our 19% vacancy rate now. I look forward to working with Arlington Economic Development and my colleagues in the community, and strongly support following through on the next steps of making our permitting process as efficient as possible. Second, our long-term need to fund and build the schools to educate every child well. I'm thrilled to be joining Mr. Gutschall as a liaison to JFAC, and I'm grateful to you, Ms. Garvey, for allowing me the opportunity to do so. Third, housing affordability. On Sunday, I met 2 homeowners from South Arlington who shared their stories. They asked me for coffee, and they said, Florencia is a healthcare researcher, and Ruben is a retired local government employee from actually all the way out in Vienna. Both asked me how it can be that they may be priced out of their condos that they've lived in for decades and have to leave Arlington. To serve families like Ruben's and Florencia, we must be creative and relentless on housing affordability. On relentlessness, I'll be open to all ideas to help get us closer to our goal of 600 affordable units per year, rental units, when we've averaged about 280 since 2015. I'm open to adjustments to our zoning code and look forward to you working with you, Mr. Chair, to reach solutions that will be workable for Arlington and address the need for increased supply. I also look forward to working with you, Mr. Gutschall, on the missing middle, and to learning from and working with each member of the board on housing. As we do so, I ask that you'd consider the community land trust idea that I discussed during the campaign, and that we look for land for a building that could serve as a site for such a trust. I know land's at a premium, but we should still take a look. I'm grateful for the opportunity to serve as the liaison to the Housing Commission and to work with all of our community and advocates to make a measurable difference this year on housing in the American dream. Fourth, climate change and renewable energy. I look forward to serving as the liaison to the Environment and Energy Conservation Commission to work on this issue. I believe it joins equity as one of the two biggest issues we face as a country. We must put the county back in a leadership role on this issue in our region and in our nation. That means funding for the AIR program and time and energy on ideas like purchase power agreements. It also means working constructively with the state, where possible, to develop our renewable energy portfolio. Fifth, ending child hunger in Arlington. If you haven't seen the post, page 10 has an article about the school lunch program today. Mr. Dorsey, Destination 2027, Ms. Crystal, all of us, we can work on ending child hunger. There are still 2,200 families that go to AFAC every week, and we are still the 5th wealthiest county in the country. We can invest in equity and end child hunger. So those are my priorities, and I'm looking forward to digging in and working on them. I'm sure we're all ready for a break and to talk with the Civic Federation. Thank you for your time. Happy New Year to everyone.